Before we go back to Virtual Voyager, I forgot to check out 2 crew biographies. The first of these being Lieutenant Torres.
Lieutenant Bellana Torres.
Race: half Klingon, half human. Parents: mother Klingon, father human. Assignment: Chief of Engineering. Planet of birth: Keswick 4. Half Klingon and half human, Torres has difficulty controlling her temper, much of which can be attributed to her Klingon lineage. She attended Starfleet Academy and participated in a decathlon team. She left during the second year due to difficulties with discipline. But she so impressed Professor Chapman, an Academy teacher, he recommended she be accepted if she should ever seek to be readmitted. She joined the Marquis and served under Chakotay. When the Marquis crew joined with Voyagers, Torres had a violent incident with Lieutenant Carey, her superior officer. Despite this incident, Torres was chosen to be the engineer of Voyager. She is currently having a relationship with Tom Paris, who aids her in accepting herself and her Klingon heritage. And that relationship goes from strength to strength, despite a few bumpy periods. And then, from the Alpha Squad of Hazard team,
Crewman Rick Beesman.
Rank Crewman, formerly Marquis. Born July 17th, 2349. Place of birth: Ares City, Mars. Assignment: Weapons Specialist. Achievements: Nautican Wrestling Championship, 2368. As a child, Beastman lived in the enhanced gravity dome cities of Mars. Unlike Mars natives who lived in the planet's natural low gravity, he developed the necessary strength to live on worlds with higher gravity, but having seen what low gravity can do to a body, Beastman became an exercise enthusiast, giving him a muscular physique. His father worked at the Utopia Planitia Fleet Yard and helped build the USS Enterprise D. Interesting. It was there, seeing starships being built, that young Rick developed a desire to join Starfleet. Against his father's wishes, he joined Starfleet Academy rather than carry on the family tradition of shipbuilding. However, once in Starfleet, his short temper soon got him thrown out. Rather than return home in disgrace, he wandered for a time until he joined the Marquis. Once on Voyager, he proved to be loudmouthed and opinionated, but extremely valuable in a firefight. Now that I've given those two the limelight they deserve, let us go back to Virtual Voyager and continue scanning for Neelix cheese. Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh, hang on, there might be something. No, never mind. That's not Neelix cheese. That's Newlix cheese. Newlix cheese is nowhere near as dangerous. Good thing I checked, though. If that had been Neelix cheese, I don't know what might have... That's the red alert panel. I might have to scan that for Neelix cheese later. And that. You don't mind, do you, Chakotay? I think he minds. Hey folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. And when last we left off, we checked out the ship's computer, listened to a lot of things, and read a lot more things. Now it is time to go to Deck 2 and start using those codes that we got to enter places we normally couldn't. After we check out Deck 2, we'll go to Deck 3 and make our way down. We'll have to go and say hi to the Doctor on Deck 5. So here we are, Deck 2. There's one crew member here that I need to find the quarters of. I believe those are our quarters. There's somebody else around here that I need to open the quarters of. Not you, not you. If I run around, I'll eventually find them. Not there or there. Ah! That's the turbo lift. Nope, that's not what I want. This, however, is what I want. Harry Kim's quarters.
The quarters of Ensign Harry Kim.
Well, let's have a look around. What could we make here?
Burgundy.
Burgundy! We'll add that to our huge stockpile of drinks in our transport buffer. We have fancy art. That is pretty fancy. We also have this. It is an object. And it's relatively tall. And a very fancy chair. Ooh, the personal log of Ensign Kim. Do we wish to pry? We wish to pry. There aren't as many entries as with Munro, but we'll read them. Stardate 53843.4. Hazard team? What's a hazard team? Suddenly I notice power consumption has gone through the roof on the holodecks. Then a little investigation shows Tuvok and Lieutenant Foster are holding tryouts for a hazard team. I'll have to talk to Commander Chakotay about this. Is it really necessary? Stardate 53843.42. It turns out the hazard team has the captain's blessing, so the power consumption is necessary. I don't know where I'll be able to find the amount that they need to run extended holodeck systems, but I've been strongly encouraged to make it work. So I will. And he did. Stardate 53854.69. Voyager has sustained severe damage from an alien probe. I've been busy for the last 4 hours trying to coordinate repairs with Lieutenant Torres, but Lana is probably the only other person who is busier than me right now. It's no small task keeping a ship this size running smoothly. If only I was promoted, I'd be able to do so much more. Stardate 53855.17. It sounds like the hazard team has been doing a great job. I just saw Ensign Munro and the team returning from their mission on the scavenger base. They looked pretty beat up, and I didn't see Lieutenant Foster with them. I hope things went well. Yeah, they didn't go so well there. Stardate 53856.8. The hazard team is going to the Borg Cube to get the isodesium B'Elanna Torres needs to get Voyager running again. Word has it, they're also going to rescue Lieutenant Foster. I hope they succeed. Being assimilated by the Collective is one of the most frightening things I could imagine. It'll definitely scare me. And finally, Stardate 53853.31. Both squads of the hazard team are being sent over to the Forge. They plan on knocking out the energy dampening generators so that Voyager can escape. I can't believe how his new security force went from obscurity to being depended on so heavily in such a short amount of time. The hazard team is something other Federation ships should adopt. Maybe I could lead them. Then I won't be an ensign anymore. Dream big, Kim. Dream big. Anything else here that I can interact with? This is a very fancy chair. And there's all the statistics about it. If we go into here... Ooh, I like this. That's very neat. I also like this sink. Better scan this for Neelix cheese. No Neelix cheese here. Worth checking, though. Worth checking. Okay.
The quarters of Ensign Harry Kim.
Thanks. Let's check out down here just in case. There might be someone else's quarters. That's ours. I don't think any other quarters are here that I want to... I'm wrong!
The quarters of Neelix.
Here's Neelix's quarters! Have you ever wanted to be in here? Well, now you can!
Gaboski stew and vegetables.
Ooh! It's not a drink! Munro will take it anyway. Let's check Neelix's personal log. Ooh, there's quite a few entries. I'm sure people won't mind me doing this. After all, I have the codes. That clearly means I'm meant to check all these out, right? I'm gonna get into so much trouble after all this. Stardate 53841.14. The hazard team's practice sessions are far too grueling for them to be sustained by a normal diet. I'll be changing their nutritional requirements to compensate for the abnormal amount of energy they expend. And if they give me any trouble about it, I'll go straight to the captain, so it'll be an order. I won't have people rushing off to battle only to fail because they ate improperly. Ah, Neelix, looking out for Voyager in the little ways that count. Stardate 53845.4. As self-appointed morale officer, I believe it is my duty to hold a Meet the Hazard Team night, where the entire crew can come down and meet the brave men and women. I think it would be a real pick-me-up for people to see the entire Hazard Team all dressed up in their fancy combat uniforms. I'm sure Tuvok will approve of the idea. I don't think Tuvok approved of the idea. 53843.41. I spoke with Tuvok at length about the idea, but the Lieutenant Commander seems to have his mind made up. He said it would be demeaning and cut into valuable practice time. Perhaps if I asked him in a few weeks, his opinion will have changed. Nope, I don't think it will. Stardate 53846.0. To present the Hazard Team in a positive light, I've created a Hazard Team poster that I've distributed around the ship. It really is quite a heroic looking picture. I hope these go over better than the plates I made to commemorate Seven of Light joining the Voyager crew. Wait, you made plates? I want one of those! That's bound to be a collectible at some point. Stardate 53847.22. All the Hazard Team posters seem to be missing now, and no one will tell me what happened to them. And in a side note, Lieutenant Foster seems rather angry with me lately, although I can't imagine why. He wouldn't say 2 words to me during breakfast no matter how hard I tried to make conversation with him. I think we know who took the posters down. Well, everyone but Neelix. Stardate 53858.3. In the last few days I can't believe what has happened. We've been transported to some unknown section of space, attacked by scavengers, assaulted by Etherians, threatened by Borg, and almost torn apart by a huge mechanical harvester ship. There was even a tremendous battle right in the mess hall. Crewman Beastman wound up shooting one of the harvester creatures with his iMod. It was quite messy. I'm still searching for 2 of the creature's legs. They're in the storage cupboard. I can tell you the entire crew is on pins and needles. They need something to do with all this nervous energy. Morale is at one of the lowest points I've ever seen. Ensign Munro thought we should attack the aliens who are holding us prisoner in this galactic junkyard. I agree with the young ensign. As well you should. I photon torpedoed everything in my way. And the things I didn't photon torpedo, I zapped with lightning. Another one of those fancy chairs. We have here... Oh, there it is! The 7 of 9 collector's plate! I was just talking about that. Now I have one. Hurrah! That's going to look great in my quarters. Anything in here? Ooh, fancy picture of Voyager. And a big, big bath. These bathrooms are spacious.
The quarters of Neelix.
Thanks. Is there anything else here I want to check out before I move down to the next floor? Hello.
Hey, Munro.
How you doing? Okay, I would check this out, but it's very difficult to read all of that due to it being so blurry. I'm just going to have a quick run around to make sure I haven't missed any... Why is that one active as well? I don't know. Quick run around to make sure I haven't missed any quarters. I don't think I have, though. That's Munro. That's the turbo lift. Just gonna make sure I've seen everything. And I think I have, in fact, seen everything. With that done, it's turbo lift time. We're gonna go to another floor. Oh, control panel's here. Gotta wait for the door to close. Thank you.
Specify deck.
Let's go to Deck 3, the officers' quarters.
Deck 3, officers.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff here for me to check out. More collectibles to get. More figures. Okay. There's one right away. That's Paris. And that's Belada Torres. Huh. Straight walk from one set of quarters to the other. That's convenient. Let's go see Paris' quarters first.
The quarters of Ensign Tom Paris.
Oh wow, that is... Okay, that's awesome. Captain Proton. And this... Is that a mask? Ooh, there's a proton gun here. Can I take the proton gun? I can. I could switch to the proton gun. Oh, okay. That's amazing. I'm gonna save this ammunition. Save this ammunition for something very important.
Bergamot tea.
We'll take some more tea. There we go. We'll also go in here. Oh, we can't go in there. Ah, interesting. Well, let's read this. Ooh, there are lots of entries here. Tom Paris' personal log. Stardate 53835.21. Belada told me Tuvok is starting up a new high-risk security unit called the Hazard Team. They'll be sent into dangerous situations that most of us wouldn't have training to deal with. Sounds kinda neat. If I wasn't so busy with navigation, I'd try it myself. You absolutely would. Stardate 53834.31. I managed to talk Harry into joining me on an episode of Captain Proton down on the holodeck. Today's mission was Chaotica's Legacy. In this episode, Harry and I mean Buster Kincaid and Captain Proton, had to save the elders of the Incorporated Planets from a man claiming to be the son of Dr. Chaotica. It was a lot of fun. But did Harry enjoy it? Stardate 53848.5. All the holodeck time is being taken up by the Hazard Team training missions. Looks like Captain Proton won't be saving the day again for quite a while. Aww. Stardate 53854.71. An alien probe attacked us and left us stranded in some type of derelict spaceship dumping ground. Engines are down and I have nothing to do but watch everyone else work. Belana and Harry have it the worst. Voyager's pretty badly beat up, and those two are running at full tilt trying to get all the repairs done. I'm sure you can help out in your own way. Stardate 53854.9. I made the mistake of jumping B'Elanna from behind and yelling boo. Yeah, that was a mistake. I think she cracked one of my ribs. I don't know how long it's been since she slept, but I think the strain is starting to wear on her. She won't let the weariness show, but I can see it in the little things. Like when she throws punches at me. Yeah, you should get that rib checked out. Stardate 53855.2. I got to take my Delta Flyer out today. I dropped my hazard team off at the scavenger base. It was really no big deal for me, but it looks to be a pretty scary situation for the hazard team. But they've got Lieutenant Foster with them, so they're in good hands. About that mission. Stardate 53856.33. I've started to feel like that guy on Deck 15. I've got absolutely nothing to do while Voyager is dead in the water. B'Elanna is close to collapse and Harry has huge bags under his eyes from lack of sleep. Me? I'm so bored I've taken to reading my Captain Proton episode list during staff meetings. Who's that guy on Deck 15? I wait the Lord up in the comments. Stardate 53858.20. The word has been given. The entire hazard team is going over to the forge to turn off the energy dampening generators. If they're successful, I'll have to move fast to get the team and then get Voyager out of range before the generators are activated again. I hope I remember how to fly her. Don't worry, you'll do fine. You'll do just fine. Okay, armed now with the Captain Proton gun.
The quarters of Ensign Tom Paris.
Thanks! We're gonna go check out a lot of other quarters. We might as well go over here and go check out the quarters of B'Elanna Torres. No minions of Dr. Chaotica here. Maybe in Chakotay's room we'll find some.
The quarters of Lieutenant B'Elanna Torres.
What do we have here?
Bergamot tea.
More tea! I'll take it. Somebody's going to be very curious to see all the replicator energy that's been used just today. Okay, we have this we can't check out. Can we go in here? No, we can't. Can we go into any of the bathrooms on this floor? Don't know. Let's check out the personal log of Lieutenant Torres. Start with this one. Stardate 53849.6. We just completed a scheduled maintenance check of the entire warp drive system. With that out of the way, there's nothing to do but sit back and relax. It'll be nice to take a breather. Maybe I can schedule some time on the holodeck with Tom. That is if the hazard team isn't busy using it for one of their training simulations. They have a lot of those. Stardate 53854.8. I must have been crazy to accept the position of Chief Engineer. When everything goes to hell, I'm the one who has to pull things together. Voyager was just attacked and transported to who knows where. During transportation, almost every major system on the ship experienced a harmonic feedback that damaged quite a few components. Right now I'm not even sure what works and what doesn't. I'd never make it if it weren't for Harry Kim. He keeps things organised and makes sure people are doing the things I need to have done. It's a shame he's not a lieutenant. If he was a lieutenant, he could help me out even more. Stardate 53854.82. Impulse power offline. Defensive systems offline. Offensive systems offline. Long range systems, warp drive and navigation all offline. That harmonic wave really did a number on Voyager. It'd be easier to list the systems that work than to list the damaged ones. And what's really frustrating is repairs are being hampered by an energy dampening field we're trapped in. Yeah, that's a doozy. Stardate 53854.85. I've lost count of the number of hours my people have had to pull in trying to get Voyager running again. They're all good people, and I'll be sure to recommend a promotion for each of them should we ever escape this junkyard we're trapped in. Things still look bleak for the ship. We haven't been able to repair any of the major systems yet, and with the dampening field slowing us down, I'm beginning to wonder if we ever will. That's kind of its point. Stardate 53854.89. I know Tom mentioned it as a joke, but he should really know better than to try and scare me when I'm mistired. Not thinking, I elbowed him in the side pretty hard. I hope he can forgive me. Once we're out of this mess, I'll make it up to him somehow. Good plan. Stardate 53854.9. Not only are we fighting the dampening field, we're also fighting our fatigue, and oddly enough, that led me to the answer I've been searching for. I was rerouting a plasma conduit when I started to doze off, and then, in that state of half awake, half asleep, an idea hit me. Isodesium would not be affected by the dampening field. Isodesium is short-lived and would only provide power for a short time, but that would be all we'd need to escape from here. Since sensors are now working to a limited extent, I did a quick scan of the area and located several caches of isodesium on the scavenger base. Now all we have to do is go get it. I guess it's time to see if this hazard team is everything Tuvok and Lieutenant Foster think it is. Turns out we are. Stardate 53857.62. We were attacked by a boarding party of harvesters. Tuvok was able to damage the ship that brought them, but not before they were able to get inside Voyager. Luckily we were able to stop the harvesters before we did any real serious damage, although we did manage to undo a lot of the work my people had done since we came here. The isodesium is working as planned, so repairs are well underway, but we still can't go to warp because of a dampening field. Captain Janeway has approved a plan to go and shut down the energy dampening generators at the forge. I only hope the hazard team is up to the task. Fortunately, we were. Pew pew! That's the pew pew of success! It's a good thing it didn't actually shoot. The damage to the walls would have definitely got us put in the brig for a while. Just a shame the view isn't that nice. But ah well. And when we come back, folks, we'll continue to explore around the officers' deck. Check out Chakotay's quarters, and everyone else's quarters too. And then we'll keep heading down, doing more things, getting more collectibles, and trying to hide the fact that we have this weapon from Paris. Yeah, Paris isn't going to be happy to see this. Or maybe he will be! Maybe he'll invite us to go on one of those Captain Proton holodeck missions that he likes doing. Those are neat. We might be checking those out later. We just might. But that'll be for next time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. If you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.